Welcome to Relic playing Goons, also known as Villain RPG. This, what we're going to do is, in this fantastical world of supermen and superwomen, on an Earth not unlike our own, that you could look out your window and maybe see a hero or two as your day passes by.
Okay, I'm doing it.
We
Nothing yet, but
do.
I'll keep you posted.
It's
We
pitch black
we
right
have
now, bro.
We have a world in which heroes are mostly united through a single organization, a non-profit organization called the International Heroes Guild. And how it works is heroes sign themselves up for a phone application where they can track progress of crimes, interact with fans, do brand sponsor deals, pretty much anything a hero could do. And it's like any other kind of like service app. You can clock in as a hero whenever you want. You can clock out whenever you want. It's pretty cool. It's called the Hero Experience. But none of that really matters to any of you. You are all henchmen, superpowered henchmen that worked for the supervillain known as Jailbird. Jailbird was a rather burlesque man with a prisoner theme who had the ability to fly thanks to large bird wings, and also telepathically control the chains that surrounded him. Now, he wasn't like the A grade, world ending, Omega level villain, but he was a good boss. He yelled at you a few times, maybe lashed at you with some of his chains when you screwed up. But he wasn't the worst boss to work for. None of that matters because he's dead. In a fight with the lethal Avenger known as Riot Breaker. For those who just want a sort of general idea, he's kind of like the Punisher, but with a cop theme.
I hate him already. I can't wait.
Riot,
I can't wait to
Let's
beat his
fucking
ass.
kill him.
Riot Breaker, in the last encounter with your boss Jailbird, basically, he's taking a permanent dirt nap. Bunch of bullets through the head, through the heart, dismembered from, arms cut off. Basically, he just totally, disrespected Jailbird. Riot Breaker has been on thin ice in the hero community for a long time, and unfortunately, your boss cross paths with him, leaving you all kinda jobless. It's been about a week. You attended the villain funeral, which was small. No one really showed up, except you guys. And then you also had to pay out of pocket for the funeral, so now you're flat broke. You see, in the years working for Jailbird, none of you were smart enough to invest in sort of a savings. You all just did crimes and then immediately blew all your earnings on random shit that no one really cares about.
I really thought Hero Coin was gonna blow up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to retcon that and say that I did invest, but I invested in crypto.
You invested very poorly. Then you all invested in Hero Coin, but that was like a pump and dump scheme. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ironically, Coin started by a supervillain who used it to steal people's money.
True, and your money got stolen. So now all three of you are in your old hideout. It's a warehouse on the edge of New York. It's on the docks. And the old man who owns it doesn't really use it for anything. A kind fellow named Stan. He's pretty cordial. But if you don't get any money soon, then you're gonna be all out on the streets.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at your story. I'm laughing at Zedrin posting Goon FT.
I know, I laugh too. Listen,
Oh my goons.
modern supervillains require modern inventions of stealing people's money. That is probably not far from the truth. So here you all stand. It's a bit more somber. You're sitting around an old you don't really have a table. You use like a pool table as like your regular table. Yeah, you never even really bought furniture, and you got a bunch of fold-out lawn chairs. It was, wasn't much, but this is home. And you're all kind of discussing what to do. And together, I will introduce you. First off, we have a large man with no shirt and a extremely large hammer that's like double his size laying next to him up against the table. He sits there. He's pretty average, but that hammer is ginormous. No one really knows how he carries it around, but when Jailbird was hiring, all he put down for his superpower was hammer. And it worked fairly good, if you want to say anything.
Alright. I'll post my sheet.
You all are all discussing, if you want to start the discussion on how you guys are going to make any money.
The hammer isn't the character.
Hammer not know what do now. Boss man usually say what to do. And Oshira not know what to do either.
And Kari, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'll.
Okay. So as you say that, Hammer, you turn to a rather peculiar-looking man who has 2 heads and 3 arms, but he's not really dressed up like a supervillain either. If you want to go ahead, Zell.
I will. I will say that's just sort of to showcase his abilities. But
Oh, okay. Does he just look like a normal dude?
most of the time he just looks like a normal dude.
Oh, okay. So, to retcon that, you are just a white guy in a regular shirt. You literally look like you just got plucked off the streets.
Yeah, Hammer, I don't know. I mean, I guess we gotta earn some cash somehow, but... Ooh, I could try the old, insurance fraud scam again.
Hammer does not care about money. Hammer does not know who to crush.
And is that for you, Zell?
I'll say yeah.
And then we go to the next panel, and a second Mandrake is sitting at the table, weirdly enough. Do you want to go ahead, Zegend?
Yeah, Hammer. I don't know. I don't know either. I guess we could try that old insurance fraud thing again. What do you think?
Hammer, you might be extremely confused because you are seeing double right now. And you haven't even been hit over the head today.
I'm extremely confused. It looks like I'm seeing double, and I haven't even been hit over the head today.
Said that to Hammer, but...
As you say that, I kind of like, the hue on your skin kind of, on my skin goes like more blue. And then I become like a blue gooey mass.
If you want to post your...
Gucky got you good!
Oh.
Hammer does not like when Goo Man does that. Hammer cannot tell Goo Man and Hydra Man apart.
Yeah, it freaks me out, man.
Come on, Hammy, that was funny!
As you are all bickering, you hear a knock at the door. And
Yo,
the
we're
warehouse
all
owner...
Let's go!
We're dumb as
No,
fuck.
and the kind old man who you will not start a fight with because he was pretty nice to you and letting you stay here, Stan, opens the door with his spare key. Goes, hey fellas, how are you all working out since since management passed on? This man he's a bit frail looking, but he's fine. He's got big aviator sunglasses and a bushy mustache.
Hey yo, when's Birdie coming back?
Yeah, as far as working out goes, we're pretty out of work.
Well, I don't want to put you guys in a rough position or anything, but if you don't think of some, if your guys aren't able to pay this month's rent pretty soon, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry.
Well, usually Birdie would just handle that, so I don't know, just go ask him.
Warehouse man does not charge us money. This is first warehouse man ever ask this of Hammer.
I assume, out of character, I'm assuming that Sam is the only one that actually understands what the fuck is going on.
I guess so.
Stan turns to you. Have you decided on the name? Is it Hydra Man or
I
Gydra?
can go with Mandrake. Yeah.
Mandrake turns to you to Mandrake and says, "Are they okay in the head?"
You know, I haven't figured that one out yet. But
Yeah, my head's great, look at this. And I pull my head off my body. And plop it back
Yeah.
on.
Hammer have good head. Oshra's head better.
Yeah, keep that good head of yours on your shoulder, Hammer.
Where else would head go?
I would like to, in response to that, have my head fall off and sort of say, I don't know, some of us can, so some of us can make better use of our head.
Stan the man. He just sighs and kind of puts his head against the temple of his. Puts his hand against the temple of his head. He goes, "Well, I just stopped by. I was cleaning out your boss's car, and he had this." And Stan walks over, and on the pool table, he will put down a business card that simply has a flower on it and an address. And Stan will say, "I don't know too much about the supervillain business. I try to stay out of that stuff. But, I feel like this might be a good, jumping off point if you fellas want to finally make it on your own now that your boss isn't around."
Yeah, where did
That's
you go
all.
anyway?
Warehouse man explains to Hammer.
I don't know how to tell you this, fellas, but you were at the funeral. Jailbird is dead. He's not coming back.
Oh, that party was for him?
You
Boss
either...
man not show up to own party.
No, he's dead. Dirt now, in the ground. He ain't coming back, fellas. I'm sorry.
Do not let boss man hear you say that. Boss man would not appreciate warehouse man saying such things.
You guys either have to leave the supervillain business or make it on your own now. No one's gonna be there to guide you.
What? Who's gonna give Gookie candy now?
You'll have to
Hold on.
figure that out on your own.
Hey, hold on, Cucky. I think what he's saying is, we can take our own candy.
Really, Sammy? Can we really?
You guys have the chance to rise up the supervillain ladder now that you're your own people. I know you liked your boss, but maybe working for yourselves might be better in the end. That means it's one less person you're sharing the money with, too. And candy.
Oh. Guys, let's go out and steal all the candy in the world.
That wasn't really my suggestion, but...
No.
Stan will sort of nod to Sam, since he's the only one that's kind of really understanding it. And sort of, tilts his head towards the business card. Well, that's all, fellas. If you do, get some money, then, you can keep, staying here for your supervillain operations. It's not like I'm using it. Have a good night, fellas. Stan waves, and closes the door behind him as he... And again, the only thing on the table besides a bunch of drink stains is a business card. All it is an intricately inlaid flower on one side and an address on the other. It's for upstate New York.
Where are we right now?
You are in the docks of New York,
Gotcha.
which is kind of in the eastern part. I definitely know geography.
Yeah, we're at Seaside. We're around Seaside.
Yeah, you're just kind of like in an old warehouse that's like next to the water, basically. Do you all have what it takes to grab hold of the reins of destiny and become your own supervillains? That's for you to decide.
Definitely got what it takes to steal some candy.
Yippee!
At the very least.
Do you plan to follow up on the business card? The mysterious business card. The important business card that the NPC handed you.
I try and eat the business card.
For fuck's sakes.
Somebody's free to contest me
also
if they
say
don't want it. If they don't
Yeah,
want
also
to.
say we'll take it and sort of snatch it from you and say, hey, why don't we, follow this, and on the way, we can take as much candy as you want.
Oh, that's great!
You guys have to make it to upstate New York. How do you plan to get there? You don't have a car. Your boss's car was repossessed. Kind of just drove like a Honda Civic. You could take the trains. You could walk there. But none of you really have major movement powers, so gotta hoof it. Or, I don't know. How do you plan to get to upstate New York?
I have an idea if no one else does.
Floor is yours. I hope I'm not being
Floor's
too
yours.
cocky. But introducing an entire campaign is very hard.
No, you're doing perfect.
Oh, no, I gotcha.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm trying to keep in line with my character though. I feel like my character can't be the one who's really making plans.
That's fair. I'll say Sam's gonna try to try to hail a taxi with a spin. He's gonna look like his arm has been cut off. But he's gonna like detach his arm and look like it's been cut off and try to get a ride to a hospital nearby.
Alrighty, give me with New York, it's the city of the old classic yellow and black tabbies. So I want you to give me a dang, this is hard picking out what you have to roll for. So you're taking off your arm. I would say that's maybe a charm and perform. Or no, you know what? Give me a charm lying. I'll give you an advantage here.
Can I help out with this? I don't know if
You
you want,
may.
you want me
What
to.
do you...
I want to turn into I want to transform into like a helpless-looking woman and be like screaming that my
Screaming
partner's
bloody murder.
been severely injured.
You both have max lying. Give me charm lying.
Let's go.
And Hammer, are you just sort of seeing this all play out? There's no pressure to do anything. You will have your moment to shine too.
I'm I'm wondering if there's I wonder, it's not so much an action, but could I maybe like flip like a straight presence just for like the fact that I'm just like standing there as this is all just like this like giant man is like towering over them while this happens?
You may flip a straight presence. This is interesting. Okay. So
I kind of
you're just like you're like a sentinel. You're like just standing there like a statue.
I kind
you
of
will
like
catch the eyes of most drivers.
I have like the hammer kind of like sort of over my shoulders, and I'm kind of like a little bit like a hunched over as like this is sort of like behind them as this is going on.
Okay, so You're doing that. You are definitely just in general, just like an imposing presence. Sam, you are putting on the performance of a lifetime. You sound in genuine agony, and any driver with the window down and music not too loud is definitely going to be turning heads. And Zell, Gucky, you just like you do like the classic like 50s like monster movie damsel in distress like King Kong like
What?
It is cutting out a
The
lot.
mic
but
going
I
out
see
made
what you're
that
going
so
for.
much better.
oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, it sounded really good.
I gotta be a little yeah that was
I'm like going to the
from
nearest. I'm
another
going to the
family
nearest
member.
driver.
I'm gonna be toning that down. I'm gonna be toning
That's
that down.
fair.
I'm going to the nearest driver. I'm like, please, my husband. We were just taking our hammer for a walk, and he tripped, and now his hand's like this. Please take us to the
Oh.
hospital. Oh yeah,
Oh
uptown.
God,
The
please help
uptown
me.
one,
Please
please.
take me to the hospital that is located at this exact address.
Hold
Ah.
on, let me at least say a cabbie pulls over first.
Yeah.
So a cabbie pulls over. He gets out of the car. Hold on.
Cliffhanger.
He gets out of the car. It's Jailbird.
Damn, you guys both got bear stance.
Yeah.
My entire my like whole plan for my character is I'm just gonna like immediately at the start of combat dump all of my dodge into a hit and just hope it kills so I can do it again.
That's sick. Wait, that's a 6 energy. Anzel's got a similar thing going on. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. No more bloody murder screaming from me.
Very fair.
So a cab driver walks out and he's got like the very classic like, sort of like one of those like New York paperboy hats on. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He's got a bushy mustache. It's like, hey, whoa, what's going on here? What happened?
I say Gucky gives the speech here.
Yeah, Gucky
Yeah.
gives the speech. You guys were just a little gung ho because I hadn't even say a guy had come out of the taxi yet.
Yeah. And I'll follow up with my speech of, oh, I need to go to this exact address.
I mean, I guess the hospital in upstate is it's pretty close. I don't know why you wouldn't call an ambulance.
Faster.
I mean, if you see them, get my darling to the hospital ASAP.
Give
Carman
me,
will drive to hospital.
for that, I want a presence intimidation dingle. This is a good jumping in point.
Okay.
I was gonna see if there's a little back and forth of like the cab driver saying, well, a cab is not faster than an ambulance because traffic has to pull over for an ambulance, but if you're just going to 2 successes. So he looks over to you. He wasn't really looking at you at first, Dingle. You kind of just looked like another piece of architecture. He looks over, he sees the giant hammer and goes, yeah, sure, hospital, get in. I don't know if you all gonna be able to fit in. It's not exactly a, well, you count as 2 people, fella. It's not exactly
We'll
a
manage.
okay. He gets in the driver's seat, and do you all just squeeze into the back?
I'm imagining Hammer. There's like not enough room. Hammer gets in the seat and Azura gets in the trunk.
I was picturing that the car had like a sunroof that I just sort of put that I put the hammer through.
You know what? That is exactly what it is.
Hell yeah.
And it does take some time, because it's a cab in New York, but eventually you in your dying, arm. Does your arm grow back at this point, like halfway through the car ride?
I
Because
was
that
gonna
would
say
be kind
he's
of
kind of
funny.
like he's kind of like got control over it. I think, but
The cab driver's a little suspicious that Blood's not really. I mean, he's not complaining, but he's a little suspicious that Blood's not really kind of going all over his cab. And he goes, so you guys from around here, or are you visiting? You tourists?
I'd really like to visit the hospital.
Oh, right.
Barman talks too much.
All right, fine. Try and be nice in the city. No one appreciates it. Takes another long drag of his cigarette, puffs it out the window.
Cookie's finger's worn off, and he's like, "We're from that warehouse over there. It's pretty good."
What happened to the lady?
Sometimes Birdie
What
gives
happened
us
to you
candy.
looking at the road?
All right, yeah, whatever. He kind of like hurriedly just drops you off at the hospital. And you know what? It's been too weird of a night, and you guys are already broke. He just drives off. He's had enough. He's clocking out for the night. He doesn't even ask for payment.
Oh, let's go. Free ride.
Because you guys did roll super well, and also he is just really... He wasn't really scared. He was scared mostly of Hammer, but he was just kind of weirded out.
yeah,
It's very obvious that you guys aren't really synchronized as one without a leader yet. But that can change. Just keep trying. So you are dropped off at a hospital, and I don't actually know the streets of New York, so I'm just gonna say about a block down, not a New York block, that's pretty big. A little, like, less than 5 minutes away is the actual address on the side of the business card if you want to just walk the rest of the way.
oh yeah.
And, because you guys don't really dress up, you get the occasional look, but you're not, like, dressed up in, like, brightly colored tights. The only times people might second guess themselves is if they see Gucky
Looking
or if
at
they
the
notice Hammer's hammer. For the most part, even with Hammer, there are probably weirder guys that walk around New York anyway. So,
Fair point.
you walk there, nothing really happens. At one point, you think you see a cop patrol car, but thankfully it turns onto a different street at some point. Because the cops might or might not recognize you, depending on how much work you've done for Jailbird. Because Jailbird, again, he was like a B-list villain. He wasn't super high on the ladder, but he wasn't like just a failed upstart either.
Yeah.
You definitely guys have had run-in with the New York police at some point. So you get to this building, and it looks like sort of like halfway between... It looks like an apartment building that's been taken over by a bunch of, like, plant life. Like, plants reclaimed it, it's probably been abandoned. But this is the building. Do you walk up to the door?
Yes.
Yeah, why
As
not?
you walk up to the door, you see a bunch of flowers grow on the door itself. And before you can do anything, it's weird because they're just like flowers, but it almost looks like they're looking at you. And they all kind of rescind back into the door. And the door very creakily, very ominously, slightly opens. It's almost like it's inviting you in. Whatever you have, or whatever you are recognized in this place. Do you enter?
Cookie was trying to grab at the flowers, and they like disappeared right before his hand just went through. Hey! My flowers! And I run in.
Do you follow Gucky?
I'll say Sam follows suit. He's regrown his arm at this point.
I gotta just, like, plod along after them. Just sort of, like, heavily plodding along.
Boom, 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 boom. Specifically, Hammer's footsteps against the hardwood can be heard. And Gucky, you are almost being led like it's a trap line. these flowers keep rescinding on very long vines, and you just sort of follow it, but it's always out of your reach. And then
Cookie getting angry.
Until finally you are led to the basement, and another door opens.
I definitely pictured like little like bubbles forming like inside your body while you said that.
He's steaming.
I'm
He's
fizzing.
He's fizzing. I like that. But yeah, Gucky is led to the basement, and you guys follow suit. I assume Gucky's not running super fast, and the flowers weren't. They were receding just fast enough to be out of your reach.
Yeah, I'm pretty slow.
But, but when you all enter this basement door, you see a bunch of computer monitors and a individual standing in the center of the room. And if I can get this going. It's dim, but a light turns on.
Shit. Hello, Dim.
No.
Is some here?
God damn it. You see a very thin, lithe gentleman, sitting at this sort of like desk with all the monitors. He just sighs. Oh. Hey. Turns around, and there's almost like a bouquet of flowers growing on his shoulder. And he looks very depressed, very tired. I was gonna say, Dingle, you might just kind of fuck with this character just on a level, because I know you like these kinds of characters.
I do
This
like
guy
it.
looks awesome.
I like the design. I like the idea of like the flowers growing directly out of him.
And he goes, "Card." He's sort of signaling if you have a business card, you should show it to him.
No, Hammer's name is Hammer.
I'll say Sam extends the kind of goopy business card that was left.
The vine extends from the ceiling, swiping the card and returning to this gentleman. He looks it over, wipes the slime off it. It says, "You guys were jailbirds, guys, right?"
Yeah.
Well, hey. Name's Wallflower.
Hey, mister. You have a ton of computers here. Oh, Birdie used to show me the funniest videos. Have you got any funny videos?
No.
Got any games on your phone?
He kind of very scene emo, kind of moves his hair, kind of like with a flick of his head. He's very like just sort of despondent.
Warehouse men say Flower Man tells us who to crush.
Yeah, I knew your boss. He was he looks you guys up and down. It looks like he might have been he was gonna say something a bit more insulting, but just kind of. He was a good guy. Shame that he died, though. Riot Breaker of all people? That's unlucky. Don't want to cross paths with Riot Breaker.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure he'll be back.
What makes you say that?
Birdie always comes back.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Riot Breaker.
Cookie don't know who that is.
Again, this is another character where he kind of looks towards Sam. As Sam is probably the only person that is conversational enough to understand.
I'll say he grows that third arm behind him and does the sort of like psycho swirl.
Wallflower sighs and rolls his head, Wallflower sighs, rolls his eyes, and turns back. Yeah, there are plants growing all over this room, and they always look like. And what's weird, no matter where you're standing, it looks like a bunch of the flowers are always like, just like with the front door, it looks like they're watching you. All right, who wants to do a villainy check to hear about this guy's powers?
Sure.
I'll do one.
All right, both of you give me a. I don't know what the attribute should be. You know what? Let's do intelligence. This guy's a fairly smart individual. Give me intelligence.
I'll add my one intelligence.
All right.
He's probably going to use some big words in an explanation.
That is enough. 2 successes is enough.
I'd like
This-
to dramatic failure.
Okay, I will have to work on how the hell I'll work that in. Okay, so Sam, you kind of space out, but ironically, for the two of you that didn't seem that you're not much for conversationalism. Gucky and Hammer, you have heard of Wallflower, and basically, whenever your boss was on the phone talking to someone, he was usually talking to Wallflower. This guy has plant kinesis, which means the ability to control plants. But not just that, he has a secondary ability that basically allows him to hear and see anything that his plants are in the presence of. It makes him an amazing information broker for the supercriminal underworld. Basically, if supervillains want jobs, they come to Wallflower.
That's a really cool use of that power.
So you can understand why this building overgrown with plants and why even at the front door and even here in the basement where he's with you, his back is turned to you while he's doing something, but it never feels like his gaze is like off you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you recall that in the boss's office, he had a potted plant. Maybe Wallflower also may or may not have dirt on supervillains as a sort of security measure. You're not sure.
Dude, I get it. Dirt.
That's an epic plant reference.
Oh yeah, and he also, I forgot to mention the design, but you can see it. He's got a vine tattoo kind of growing up the side of his face that's visible, that's not covered by his hair.
Vines in New York.
But, god damn it. But, yeah, so yeah. If you want information as a villain, you come to him. And, if anyone, but what's weird is, Sam, despite you being the most articulated person in the group, you were just totally zoned out, and you have no idea who this guy usually is. So if Glucky or Hammer wants to fill you in...
Yeah, I'm like twirling my fingers, but with like 4 arms at once.
Hammer remembers something Oshra tell him. Flower Man work for Boss Man.
I didn't work for him. He came to me for information, and I gave
Dingle,
it to him.
I gotta ask something about Hammer. Is like a voice coming from the Hammer, or is like Alcera like talking with a hammer?
I thought Hammer was the name of the guy.
Yeah, so Hammer is the name of the guy.
Oh!
Oshra
Right.
is the name of the hammer.
Oh, I thought Osha
Okay.
was the guy.
No.
Okay.
Oshra is the name of the hammer who speaks, quote unquote, to Hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But yeah. Wildflower goes, well, your boss is now on the ground too. Did you come here to try and make it a name for yourselves now that you don't got him to worry about?
As long as a name comes with next month's rent.
Oh, it does. It does. Here, hand me your phone.
Hammer does not have phone.
Whoever has a phone, hand it over before I lose my patience.
I'll say he hands it over.
Another vine comes, this time from the floor, grabbing your phone and handing it to Wallflower. He's keeping his distance from you guys, not out of fear, but just as a sort of... He's not really the personal type. You can probably guess that he kind of finds more solace with his plants than humans at this point. He plugs your phone in to his computer, does some tap 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 on the keyboard, and basically adds a jailbroken app that's not legally available. Vine carries it back and goes, you ever heard of that app, the Hero Experience? You know, the all the costumed good guys.
Nah, I just played Jetpack Joyride on Birdie's iPod Touch. It's really good.
Oshra tell me once. Say people on phone good to smash.
He turns to Sam.
I guess I heard about it once or twice.
How could you not? It's the sensation. Anyone with a costume and an upstart attitude can become a hero these days. With some of my fellow brokers, we have created our own app called Goon for Hire. Here, and he's kind of showing you on the screen like basically how to use it. It's like the hero experience. It's kind of like an Uber. It's a service app, except it's for villains. You guys are at level 1. The more evil deeds you do for other supervillains needing hired muscle, the better jobs you get until you can eventually start considering yourself supervillains too, and then you can be the ones bossing people around. But for now, you're still just lackeys.
No, hammer is hammer. Not no lackey.
There are a few rules, though. 1, can't let any superhero see this application. 2, whenever you meet up with the supervillain, they will give you a set of rules to follow. If you break any of those rules, they have every right to not pay you. And 3, and then this time, it's kind of weird. You feel an unnerving presence as Wallflower walks closer to the group than he has ever previously. If you ever bring any heat back here, like superheroes or the cops or anything in between, and you can see like the flowers, the walls, the ceiling, the floor, like flora has now started to overgrow even more than you previously realized. If you ever bring anything back to me that could get me in trouble, I have every right to turn you all into plant food. And you are terrified. Like you didn't think leaves and vines and flowers could be terrifying, but there's just like a presence from Wallflower. You're hearing like that fucked up like, horror violin in your head as like the vines just get closer and closer, and then he takes a deep breath and all the vines retract back into the cracks and the holes in the floor. Does that make any sense? Not that, but he goes, is that simple enough even for you guys to understand?
Yes, mister.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Here.
Hammer still confused. Flower men not say anything about crushing.
I'm not the one that gives you the jobs, genius. Here, I'll set you up with your first job. Try not to die or screw it up, or, just try to be competent. And you get a message, and Sam, you get a message on your phone. A supervillain, under the username Sweet Tooth, wants to meet up with you. And it's not too far from here. It's on a rooftop.
Sweeties!
Yeah.
Screen him, that's a bot.
Yeah, I swipe left.
Yeah.
No, that guy was gonna give us sweeties!
Yeah, I'll just get yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, that's the thing. I can't tell with you guys if you're actually gonna do something like that. I'm just gonna say you can't reject it on the app. Fuck you guys. You guys are too low level. You're getting anything you can get. You don't have the power to swipe left.
Anyway. I will say anything I don't say in Hammer's voice, assume is out of character.
Gotcha, that's fine. Fallflower sits back down. His back is facing away from you, but again, you're never, you are, in the present, now you're worried about any time you're going to see any flower on the street if Wallflower is watching you, so be on your best, worst villain behavior, I guess. But he says without even turning his head, goes, so what are you waiting for? Get out of here. If you have any questions about the app, you can talk to me later, but Sweet Thing should have you busy for a while. Got a location to meet them. Don't keep them waiting. They're not the one to be tested with patience either. And the doors, again, kind of open, kind of just guiding you back outside.
Yeah. As we make our way out, I'll say him.
I'll say the air is remarkably fresh in this building, despite it being abandoned.
Well, yeah, got all the it's got all those plants in it.
Got a nice minty, taste without actually making you cough.
I'll scope out where we're supposed to meet this guy.
Sure. Give me. I have to make you roll for something at some point.
True.
Give me an intelligence. Shit, man, you don't really have nothing that I can do.
That's correct.
Give me an
That's
intelligence computer. I know.
Don't worry about that. It's
Okay.
If we can't, like the flip not being good for us is our problem, not yours.
True.
Oh, I will say, to add that Joker in, as you're leaving, you drop your phone, and it leaves a crack on the screen. And you're like, oh, man.
Oh, man.
And you don't have the money to get one. You get a new one just yet. So now you gotta live with the crack for a while. Doesn't really hinder the phone. At least, not yet anyway. But, you just don't really think about it too much. But, you know, maybe you're just not used to pollen being all over the phone case and it slipped out of your hand.
Oh, it's a good thing I can still make out this address with the
With
crack
your
here.
with your intelligence computers, which would be 1, unless you want to add anything to it. Okay, you figure this shit out pretty fairly easily.
Yeah.
So, you head to a nearby rooftop. You are given the instructions to go into a nearby alleyway and climb up the fire escape. I won't make you roll for it, but someone has to get the ladder to the fire escape down on the floor. If anyone has any ideas.
Actually,
If anyone,
I'll let other people
Yeah,
speak.
I-
Is it
I
like
do. It's just suspended in midair. Like that's like the
Yeah,
fire
like
escape
this.
ladder. The ladder that would go from
It's like the Dark Souls ladders you kick down.
yeah.
later in the game.
But,
well,
yeah.
the fire escape. I mean, the fire escape is like attached to the wall of the building, of course, right?
Yes.
I hit the side of the building. I hit the side of the building with my hammer, thinking that it'll like jostle the ladder down.
Give me an athletics brawn, please.
Can do.
I didn't want to keep making Zell roll for everything. I want you guys to be able to do stuff too. I'm sorry. Okay, if you had Jokered that, I think you would have just taken down the entire wall. You, Hammer, in a very ironically dexterous moment, you kind of do like a smooth, like, you take your hammer, do a little spin with it, and kind of tap, tap, tap against the wall, and then the rusty ladder lands neatly on the ground, kicking up dust in the alleyway, but not enough to really matter.
I'll say, like, meanwhile, in the background, you kind of see Sam just kind of, like, chaining his arms together like barrels in a monkey before realizing, oh, this is done already.
And then you just throw all your arms in, like, a nearby dumpster or something?
Yeah.
That is definitely gonna-
That was great, Hami. Do it again.
If you hit the wall again, I'm just gonna make the ladder go up.
Can I flip to do it again?
Yes.
Give me an athletics. Give me an athletics brawn to hit the wall again, even though the ladder's already down.
Okay, hammer does again.
Okay, so for
Let's
once, okay, you
It's sorta
say
like-
what you're gonna say.
Well, actually, I guess you should describe it as a Joker, but I do have the visual of me like winding the hammer back.
Okay, so what you do, I'm not gonna say you take down the whole wall because you did succeed, but you leave a big dent in the bricks when you hit the wall. This was not as dexterous or, as nice as your other. You hit a little too hard. You didn't really realize the angle of your swing. You leave a dent in the wall, and for the Joker, the ladder isn't destroyed or goes up, but it detaches from the hinges and falls on a bunch of trash bags. So you now have to manually, lean it up against the fire escape and hope that it doesn't, wobble around too much while you're climbing up it. It's not as impressive as your first try.
Ladder is too flimsy.
Do you want to say that you just take the ladder and lean it against the fire escape so you can get up it still?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Guys, you're not gonna make... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oshra barely touch hammer. Oshra barely touch ladder second time. Not well made.
Yeah, you're definitely not impressed, Gucky, though.
That was pretty good, but break the
Okay,
wall down
so-
next time. That would be funny.
Don't do it verse now. I want to get this on the But so okay, you guys climb up, and at the rooftop, you see someone standing there waiting for you. But unlike what you all said, it wasn't. Hold on. Let me get their character out. With a sort of very attractive sort of like figure in the darkness. A lady couldn't be older than her mid-20s steps out, and she is what you presume to be a sweet thing. She's chewing on some gum and blowing bubbles out of it, and goes, "Hey, you guys the hired help that Wallflower hooked me up with?"
Oh, you got gum? You're already better than the last guy.
That's us.
You guys ain't bad. And you're kind of, and you know what? You're so nice, little guy. She throws Gucky a whole pack of bubble gum.
I eat it all with the packaging and all.
She kind of just sort of looks at it and just sort of like, okay,
You're nice,
Well-
lady.
well, thank you, sweetheart, but flattery ain't gonna get you nowhere. My heart belongs to another.
I don't want your
So-
heart, I just want your gum.
And she's
how to
kind
be-
of going off on a tangent here. She's going, "Oh, he's so polite, a little on the skinny side, but he still has that sort of manliness to him. If only he wasn't a damn superhero. Oh, one day. But stop talking about how perfect he is already. What are you here for? Oh,
Is that who we're beating up?
well, you might run into him, but don't kill him. If you kill him, I'll have to kill you guys. One day he'll see the light and become a supervillain, and we can be a supervillain power couple."
Ah,
She's kind of
Hammer
lost in
under-
thought.
Hammer understand. Better to work in pairs. Oshra always say.
Who's Oshra, honey?
Hammer is just confused. Hammer's just kind of confused. He just Hammer does not understand what sweet woman mean. Oshra right here.
Oh. She kind of has a look of maybe some slightly regret, but it's too late now to, ask for different henchmen. So yeah, I got a pretty simple gig for you. And I'm gonna say it is around nighttime. This whole thing has been happening over towards the evening, but now it's full on New York night. So the bank over on 49th Street? I need you to break into it and get me some cash, as much as you can carry. Listen, I need money to buy some expensive foreign ingredients for my next big. My next big confectionery invention. It's gonna be the sweetest weapon ever made. So sweet that not even that damn wonderful superhero could resist me.
Get some cash. Got it.
And, yeah, as much as you can carry, and I'll pay you fairly, whatever you can grab. Gold also works. Anything expensive, but you need to go into the back of the bank and down in the vault. That's where they keep all of it. I don't know if you ever watched, the movies, that really weird one, what was it called? The Dark Hero or something? I don't know. I had a clown in it, but clowns are kind of ew.
I watched Ocean's 11 once. It's kind of similar.
Gucky not seen that episode of Cocomelon.
God damn it. Yeah, well, okay, just, And she hands you some very large duffel bags. They look like they've been reused because it says, cocoa beans on them or something. But they smell like chocolate, but they're empty. But she's basically saying, fill up these bags. There's 3 of them, 1 for each of you, with as much gold or money that you can carry.
All right.
So yeah, good thing we're doing this at nighttime because it's closed. I know I'm a supervillain and all, but killing civilians kind of gives me the ick. I don't like it. It makes me feel bad. So I try to avoid it. So, my rules... Oh yeah, my rules. Wallflower told me to let you know about the rules. So 1, if that guy shows up, that superhero guy shows up, don't kill him. Rough him up, but don't break his pretty face or nothing. Otherwise, I'll still have to get mad at you.
Sorry, which one's he?
Oh, you'll know him when you see him. You'll know him. He's so hard to miss. Anyways, oh, sorry. Don't kill civilians. Again, I don't want to say rough him up either, because I think if this guy over here, and she points to Hammer, I think even something as gentle as roughing up could lead to some casualties. So try and keep civilians out of it. Scare them off or something. And final rule, cops, I don't care about cops. Beat them up, do whatever you want, but if they get in your way...
Finally, Gookie can kill someone.
You hear that, Oshra? Finally! Finally, someone tell us who to smash.
I mean, you're also going to be smashing the vault open. That's anything.
Good idea. Hammer not think of that.
Yeah. See, I try to stay out of all the heavy lifting. I don't want to get too muscular. I got a tight suit to fit in. And that suit, yeah, it's not really covering a whole lot, but it's covering.
If suit is too small, why not get bigger one?
'Cause this one complements my frame, obviously. Jeez. Ugh. You don't get it. Whatever.
No, Hammer does not get it.
Anyway, once you get the cash, once you get the cash, just let me know where to meet up. And I'll take my cut. Alright? Well, see ya! And she kind of roller skates and does sort of like a cartwheel off the building. And she's not hurt, she just kind of disappears. You're not sure where she went, but she's kind of unpredictable, a little kooky, so you don't know. But you have your mission. You gotta go to the bank on 49th, which I'm gonna say is not too far from here. But you want to, but yeah, so you want, how do you guys want to get there?
Hammer kind of like looks over the side of the building and just goes, Carman, leave.
I don't think we're getting back that way. We could. I mean, we're already up here. We could probably just scale the rooftops.
In fact, if you look, actually, hold on, let me see. Does anyone want to make a investigation check?
I have no investigation, but yes.
None of you do.
I'll make the check. I'll make the check.
We'll do a wit investigation, whatever that is called.
Clean 2 cards.
True. Do whatever you want. Don't forget you guys have drive too, but you might be saving that. Yeah. Okay, Dingle, your Joker's gonna come in a minute, because these other 2 guys have done pretty okay. So both you, Gucky and Sam, are able to see the sort of like dome, kind of like Washington Monument-esque, not Washington Monument, but like, you know how like banks in New York had kind of like that old kind of deco architecture with like the round roofs and stuff like that, with the big pillars?
Yeah.
You can see it from the rooftop. Hammer, you are looking in the complete opposite direction. You are trying to see where Sweet Thing went, because you are just perplexed, because she just cartwheeled and just gone without a trace. But you do smell the scent of Warhead candy. That was probably just a lingering smell.
No, Oshra. Hammer did not see.
But yeah,
True.
Zell, you with your normal eyes can see the bank clearly more than anyone else.
Yeah, looks like it's just right over there.
And Gucky, I will say, with your one success, you turned part of your face into like a pair of binoculars that just kind of extended out of your eyes, and you can see it. But you had a
That's
problem
fun.
focusing it. But you
I
still
can
see it.
I can picture that so vividly. Like his eyes like came out on like little like cones, and then like the actual eyeballs just like went back so he could see out of the binoculars.
Yeah. Yeah, Hammer, you're just like confused. Lady that smells like processed sugar just disappeared into the aether.
I know, Oshra. Sweet lady is annoying, but I will not crush.
As the DM, I thank you. Don't crush my waifu, please. Anyways, so yeah, you guys are gonna scale the rooftops, which that's pretty villainous. You're staying off the streets. That's more villainous than what you were doing previously. Because it's nighttime. Cops are kind of increasing their activities. I want everyone to give me an agility athletics to Spider-Man, Batman this
Oh,
shit
boy.
across the rooftops.
Damn, I want to gymnastic failure that.
And I'm healthy. If I can't dramatic failure, I think I'll put 2 drive on that.
Damn.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
also put a little drive.
Drivey poo.
A little.
There we
You know
go.
what? 2 drive for fun.
If it was the other Joker, I was gonna laugh so hard. Okay, so I'm gonna keep your Joker in mind, Zell, but you all rolled pretty good. So I will say that you like you can hear like the Mission Impossible music in your head as you're like jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Gucky, you're just extending your slimy body across like Plastic Man from DC. Dingle, as Hammer,
Can I describe how I'm doing it? Because I had a great visual in mind.
I did too, but you can go ahead. I can tell mine, but you go ahead with yours first.
I definitely pictured myself like running to the end of each rooftop, and then like sort of like putting like the head of the hammer into like the corner of the like sticking it into something on the building, and almost like pole vaulting myself over.
That is literally what I was going to say. We had the exact same idea. Damn. Great minds think alike. And so, as do you have anything in mind, or would you rather I say it? Or would you rather I tell you?
You can go ahead.
Because
I was
you
kind
are
of picturing just like
Yeah.
the barrel of monkeys thing again.
Yeah. I was gonna say that you are a normal human guy from those puppets. What you end up doing is you are making small bridges of your limbs and then
Yeah.
tight roping across. But it's still pretty good. Although by the time you get to the building, you are kind of worn out and you trip a bit. You catch yourself from falling off the building and like really hurting yourself, but you scrape your arms a bit, like, kind of clawing back on the roof, and you will take 1 damage undodgeable. I'm sorry, I know you have the least amount of health, but I gotta be
That's
fair.
very fun.
But you still did pretty okay. It's just in that last one, you were dismembering so many like limbs that your stamina's a little like low.
My favorite Joker punishment: get rid of their healthy flip.
You might want to drink some like orange juice or something to replenish yourself at some point. But you all made it, and you are all looking through the skyline window of the 49th Street Bank, because I don't know what banks exist in New York. I don't have any names. How do you want to get inside? If you make a lot of noise, if you make too much noise, you might get too much heat on you.
She did say to go in through the back, right?
I don't think she did, but you can definitely do that. She said you're gonna have to break down the vault. Like you have to go down to like the lower level and break down the vault, but you didn't say how to get in. But yeah, I will say there's another fire escape with the ladder already down that leads to behind the building. If you guys just want to climb down and see if the back door, if you can do anything with the back door.
Hammer, remember.
Oh. Is there
She
like...
say,
Oh,
Hammer,
Alright,
remember.
sorry, go ahead.
She say to smash wall.
alrighty.
I don't think she said that.
But this is going to be really funny. Give me a brawn melee, dear Dingle.
I've been waiting to hear.
I'm not
those
going to do this
Let's
too
go.
often.
Well,
Well, I don't know how to
Smashing.
make. I don't know how to make that bigger.
I don't either. Maybe Zell can help me.
Okay, let me put this into the other one.
And you are healthy too, Dingle.
Can I do my own thing while this is happening?
Yes, you may. What do you
there
wish to
we
do,
go.
Gucky?
I want to slimify myself and go like through the top vents, like
Okay.
getting through that way. Holy
my
shit,
lord.
he's smashing.
Oh my
You
god.
you still want to do that?
Yep.
Or okay, so
I picture I just kind of like I sort of just stand back and I just throw the full weight of the hammer into this part of the roof we're standing on.
yeah. Okay, so what I got. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. You give me a biology agility, please.
Ooh.
Zedgen. If you fail this, you're not going anywhere, but you will still end up in the bank.
Ooh.
Okay.
He did
Okay.
not fail.
So, like the second before, like a few seconds before Hammer hits, before Ashura hits the rooftop and creates a big hole in the bank. Gucky, you notice you're not the smartest guy in the group, but you know that whenever Hammer starts swinging, it's gonna there's almost like an aftershock. You, in a sort of panic, you slime yourself into like a sort of like, just a blue slime puddle and go in through the vents, sort of leaving Sam to kind of fend for himself with Hammer. I will say, as a bonus, Dingle, because you knocked the roof so hard, you also knocked out the security system.
Ooh.
So the cops aren't going to immediately arrive. They still might later. But you have somehow strategically broken into the bank and turned off everything, like the motion sensors, the silent alarms, and the thing that calls like the police headquarters.
There's like security cameras like falling off the walls. It's like the whole like building
whole
just
system-
like ripples.
The whole system is out. The whole system is out. I'm giving you a prize, like a kind of a reward. Also because I still wanted you to sort of get in here, just sort of without too much trouble.
Now that I'm in, is there like anyone
Yeah.
around? Any like
No, the
bank
bank-
employees or anything?
No, this bank has been closed. It's almost the middle of the night now. It's the New York night. The bank has been closed for quite a few hours. You guys are
Okay.
all alone, which is why I'm saying the cops aren't going to immediately arrive. You're the only ones here, and you just took out all the security, like all the automated security. I'm going to say this bank cheaped out, and maybe the security guard is just not part of the budget, like the night guard. They thought, oh, we got a high-tech, we got this brand new security system. It is flawless. And then here comes this guy, and he knocks it all out in one go.
They failed to consider giant hammer.
They did. That is not part of their security budget. So, Hammer, because you anticipated this, you sort of, and because you rolled really well, you land, like, you do like a 3.5, like, superpose with Ashura in one hand and your fist in the ground. You leave a crack in the ground, too, just for, like,
Oh, by the way, just
Aesthetic.
so you know, it's pronounced Oshra.
Ashura, sorry. Sam, you, being mostly a normal guy, with regenerating limbs, but, you're more normal than these two guys. I'm not going to say you take damage, but is there anything you want to do to maybe think if you could lessen your fall? If you give me something creative enough, I will tell you that you will not take damage because you didn't roll anything bad. You were just there when Hammer took out like half of the roof.
Okay, so we're like on the top of it. Okay,
Yeah. You
okay.
have like
Yeah.
to kind of rewind, you have like a few seconds to think of something before you start tumbling with Hammer into the lobby of the bank.
Right.
There's no
okay.
escaping it, but if you can like cushion your fall or think of something creative. I don't want to give you any damage because again, you didn't roll, so you didn't roll and failed or anything, so you shouldn't get punished. Maybe I'm being too nice, but I'm saying if you can give me something creative, I will say you don't have to. You won't even have to roll for it. I just want you to give me something creative. What does Mandrake do to soften his fall? How creative can you get with your superpowers to the point they're utility?
First thing that comes to mind is he just like grows a shit ton of legs to like form a ball.
Okay. I will say you do that. You don't have to roll. I will say you do that. You are surrounded in a ball of like interlocked legs. And as soon as you hit the ground, they kind of fall apart, but it cushions your fall. You didn't take any damage, but it was still not a pleasant ride. And it's also really weird because there's like a whole pile of legs on the floor now.
I love the idea. He just like all the legs just like break from the impact, but he just sort of like gets rid of them.
Yeah. He detaches them before the impact.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
don't need
yeah.
them anymore.
Hammer, you did like a really cool like pose, like again the fist on the ground, like Iron Man landing pose. Now, Gucky,
Hammer not understand. Where is the money?
Do you want to say something, Mandrake? I was gonna say something for Gucky because he went through the vents.
I was not saying anything.
Okay. Well, Gucky, he kind of swooped in. Gucky, there's no one in here, but you are now within the ventilation system. Is Gucky smart enough to at least know the idea of how to get to a lower level to the ventilation system, or is he just going to come out and join his friends at the lobby?
He's probably not smart enough, but he still wants to give it a go. And,
So he's
intuit
going
his
off
way.
on his own. Okay, intuiting his way is the Gucky way. So I want you to give me a intelligence. I got to give you something. Give me intelligence sneaking. I'll count this as sneaking.
What a kind DM.
I will say, as Gucky, you are so used to your slime form that maybe you could get something out of this. You are like, yeah.
I'm
You are like,
driving.
oh, you're driving?
He's true.
Okay.
I'm driving.
Well, two.
Alright.
Okay. Well,
We're
two
good.
successes
He's
are still enough. I'm sorry if I'm not being harsh enough. I just want you guys to have fun. You are like serpenting your way through the vents. And you, by sheer luck, end up in the vent that leads right into the vault. And you are surrounded by those little, like, drawers and, boxes full of money, unmarked bills. Well, no, they're not unmarked. They got, like, the bank thing, like, around, like, on a paper, like, holding wads together.
They're extremely marked.
They're extremely marked, but you can unmark them if you rip off the if you rip off the things. But you, Gucky, are happy because you know that money means that you might get some more candy from the nice lady that smells like sour candy.
I'm so happy I started eating some of the bills.
I will say they're not going to disintegrate. I say you're kind of like unintentionally storing as much as you can.
Yeah, they're just like, you can see them in my translucent body. They're just like floating around.
Again, I think of Plastic Man. There's a point in DC Comics where Plastic Man just eats all the money in gold just so he can transport it. But yeah, Gucky's already there. So now we go back to Hammer and Mandrake. How are you guys getting to the lower levels?
They
Hammer, you
stored
said
this
you were
stuff in the most annoying spot.
She said to go into the back, so I assume if you can just get past where the employees are, there's definitely going to be a staircase that leads to the vault. Sam, you can intuitive that's just how a bank is built, architecture-wise.
Yeah.
So you guys, no one's around. You can just sort of, like, kind of jump over the desks. Like, those desks where you talk to the tellers.
I'm smashing through the desks.
I kind of guessed this. Yeah. Yeah, just give me a brawn melee. This is your bread and butter. And Sam, you can just sort of, I guess, wait behind him if you just want to.
Alright, so that's 6.
Hammer's going to make a path
I think
for
it's
you.
funnier if I struggle to climb over it and then immediately after you just
One
manage
success,
to-
one joker.
One success, one joker.
Okay. So, Dingle, you smash the desks, but in doing so, one of the like lamps above the desks, like one of the hanging like ceiling lamps above the desks, disconnects and hits you on the head for 1 health. It kind of is a Looney Tunes moment.
Bonk.
Limbs man, get down! Someone attack Hammer!
Limbs man, if you just want to remove the lamp from his head.
Yeah, I'll do that and just say like, hey, you should watch where you're swinging that thing.
Hammer always watch where swing.
He always watches where the impact is going to be.
How
That's
else
his-
would Hammer know where he is hitting?
So, yeah, you guys make a sizable hole in the teller desk. You just walk through. Just gonna say for the sake of the convenience, you just go down. You're at the vault door. You're at the big... It's like the classic, like... I know it's not probably, like, realistic to modern banks, but this is how I see it in comic books. There's just, like, the big, like, you know, spinny vault door. That's,
Absolutely.
like, pure steel. Now, you're not sure where Gucky is. You hear something inside the vault, but you can't confirm Gucky. You hear the sound of, like, water, like, just being sloshed around. I'm gonna say very faint, because I'm gonna say you can't fully maybe guess it's Gucky. Because, like...
Why does Goo Man not come inside?
Yeah. So how are you guys gonna open the door? I don't know if Sam wants to do something. I know the smash methods have been working, but I don't want that to be overpowering everyone else's ideas.
I am struggling to think of how Sam would enter the vault.
That's fair. Gucky, do you have any inclination to open the door for your would-be friends when they eventually show up? Not that you know they're there.
I am
Or are you
guzzling gold bars right now.
Yeah, you're
Hell
not
yeah.
concerned.
Hell
Alright,
yeah.
I guess
I'm
we're...
hitting it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hitting this vault door.
I know,
Smash it.
I didn't want... Yeah, give me the brawn melee. I just didn't want it to be like... I didn't want it
No,
to
I
feel
didn't
like
want.
you were...
I didn't want to either. But you know what? Why reinvent the wheel?
I'll say,
I'll say you guys have
Sam
like...
watches out for any chandeliers.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point you're hoping the floor doesn't collapse on the both of you. Which it probably won't. No, okay.
Let me put one
You know
drive
you
on
want
it.
to.
One drive.
I'll put one more
You know you
drive
want
on
to.
I drive.
You know you want to.
I drive.
Let's go!
There we go.
it. All right,
Uber
Okay.
system.
I'll take.
Okay. So this is tough.
We needed this.
Okay, I got it. You, Hammer, you like psych yourself up. You're like, you like hit your face a couple times. You know, you rub your hands
With the
together,
hammer.
warm them up. Yeah. No. Like, you know, you do like the athlete thing.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
like the psych yourself up. Grab a hold of Oshira, and with all your might, you're like, this is your ticket to villainy. You're your own boss now. Well, not really, but you feel like it in this moment. You swing, and you hit the vault door, and it flies open. But then it retracts on the wall and hits you in the face. And it's unlocked, but you take a damage from it. You take damage from it. There's a moment where you're like, yeah, I'm the commander of... I'm the maker of my own destiny. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, the door's open. You see Gucky. There's like a split moment. You see Gucky. You see all the money. It's like the angel choir like is going, oh, with all... Like, you've scored big time. This is the big time, fellas. But then, in that moment, in the corner of your eye, you see the steel door come back, and it just... You're a tough guy, but it's still... You still feel it. It's like a 2-ton steel door. But the vault is now open. Is that okay by you, Dingle?
Yeah, it's fine. The door hits Hammer. Hammer hates this door.
None of that matters now, because you are inside the vault. You see money flying everywhere. Gucky is full of money. He is literally leaking money.
Hey, there's where he went. Let's just
Now,
finish this job, Hammer.
You guys
And,
you guys have your duffel bags? Start filling them with cash. I'm not going to make you roll for them. But now, Now,
I also like to imagine I've grown like a second or maybe third head at this
yeah, I
point,
imagine
and
you're
are
like
carrying some just by mouth.
your arms though
And arms, yeah.
your arms though from Smiling Friends.
Yeah, I got like tons of arms just holding.
Now I want Zejin
He's
to
got a bunch of arms out in front of him, just like holding them like across his body,
Yeah.
in addition to the bag.
now I want Zejin to be here when I do
Yeah,
this.
hold on. While we're
Yeah.
waiting for Zedrin, I'm gonna go grab a drink as well.
Okay. Are you liking it so far, Zell?
Hell yeah.
I hope I'm doing okay as a DM. I don't know if I'm saying too much.
You're doing fine, man.
Hello.
Hey yo,
Oh,
waiting
go
for his,
back.
we're waiting for Zedge because this is an important moment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I can't wait. But then I saw his BRB message, and I'm like,
Can wait.
but I will say, you guys, I don't know if you want to say something or have a conversation as you're filling up your bags full of money, just for flavor's sake.
What?
Absolute.
Who does money belong to?
Us?
Why our money in big bank?
Ours now, I mean. Doesn't matter who it came from.
Hammer just not know why. Hammer just not know who leave money in such big place.
Sam contemplating whether or not he should try to explain the concept of a bank to Hammer. Decides to just
Might get an aneurysm first.
settle on stealing more cash, focusing his efforts on stealing more cash.
Hammer
say-
will ask Oshra later.
I'll say
Yeah,
Hammer.
good
but
idea.
Nice. Everyone's
What-
better. I'll
what's
say
happening?
Hammer. They were just having a conversation about money.
We were stealing money. Hammer was trying to figure out whose money this was, because he couldn't understand why someone would leave all their money in this big room.
Does not understand the concept
It's
of
true.
commerce. It's true. Money is free. You could just go to the bank and grab some.
It's true.
Oh, hey guys, come try this stuff. It's great. I give Sam a gold bar.
Sam's got a couple of wads of cash in his other mouths.
Oh, you're also putting it in your extra mouths. Oh, that's
Yeah.
You've been told to carry as much cash as you can. 'Cause
I
the
feel
more-
like Hammer it doesn't necessarily have like a creative way to store more money. I just feel like no matter how much I fill up this bag, I'm going to be able to carry it.
Yeah, I was gonna. I actually had a joke where like, your bag is actually noticeably larger. Sweet Thing gave you a noticeably larger bag, just because she seemed like you were the one with you could just carry the most of it. Although Gutsy might win that, depending on how this works out.
True.
Not that it's a competition, but you're all kind of vying to be like, now that the boss is dead, you're wondering. I don't know if any of you have aspirations to be the next boss, but if you are, you're not telling your teammates so far.
Oh, I 100% don't. Hammer
Okay.
does not. Hammer does not think more than like a couple minutes ahead.
Okay, so as you're almost done filling up the bags, you hear a young, youthful, not super young, 20s, early 20s, but a very, like, kind of upbeat voice call. Like, hey guys, bank hours are from 10 to 4. I don't know if you knew that, but everyone does it online these days. And you all turn around. And this is the first time since your boss has passed away that you are face to face with a real superhero. And kind of clutched up against the wall like an insect, this man, clad in black and yellow, is speaking to you in a rather sarcastic, I'm just going to say it, very Spider-Man-like tone. Who wants to do a villainy check to see if they know who this hero is?
Of course, I'm gonna do this check every time, even though I'm like probably the worst for fucking memory checks.
Give me a presence villainy.
I totally
villainy.
just realized it's Black Cat and Spider-Man.
No, it's Spider-Man, but a B.
It's Bumbleman.
Yeah, I
No.
just meant the dynamic of their relationship.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, everyone roll presence. Who's rolling presence? Villainy.
I am.
And some of this information is for players only. You won't actually... Okay, I will give the full backstory.
Yo, let's go.
Okay, you are all getting, as players, the full backstory of this character. This is where I get to just info dump.
I literally heard you rubbing your hands.
I know, I literally did. This is Sting. No, not like the singer, don't bring that up.
I would never. I definitely was not thinking about bringing that up when you said that.
He is a young man from Boston named Louis Levine. But he was born in Louisiana, raised by a single mom. He always had a knack for, technology. He's not like Iron Man smart, but he's fairly competent. Now, in his early 20s, he is he is a current student at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, under the electrical engineering program. He works with circuitry, he built the suit. The suit is made out of parts that the college was not using, that they were just going to recycle. And again, he's kind of how I mentioned it before. He's very Spider-Man-like. He's young. He's quippy. He has three things to look out for. One, those bee wings allow him to fly at pretty fast speeds. Two, he has electrical stings built into his gauntlets. So he basically has like faux electricity powers. But he's got to be like close to medium range. He can't like sniper electricity power with it. You know what I mean? He's not like a full-on electric superhero. And three, he has something called crystal honey. So what that is he has small little vials of a special mixture that he can launch them out of his gauntlets, and when they break open and are exposed to air, they immediately expand and crystallize into non-toxic, but still sort of what's the word for like holding something? Like binding, like what's that word?
Adhesive?
Yeah, adhesive, like binding. He can catch villains, or he can catch, or he can try and stop like cars from crashing, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of uses for it. He is very Spider-Man-like.
He could put them on either side of a building to stop a train.
True. But he is one of my oldest superhero characters. I have a lot of reference for him, and he is the first superhero that you guys are fighting. As characters, you, Hammer, you're the one that rolled super good, right? Yes.
Yeah.
You are surprisingly aware about the escapades of this bee man. Your boss has fought him a few times, but you were never present. But he was very, he's kind of always mumbling and grumbling about that young upstart hero. And you can also.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I like to imagine he just sees him as like an actual bug he wants to crush.
And you can also surprisingly surmise, Tingle, that this was this kind of weirdly wiry little guy in a bug outfit is the one that has captured the heart of Sweet Thing, although you get the impression that he might not return the feeling.
Hammer knows you. You are B-Man.
Hey, I mean, that's not my name, but A for effort, guys. But seriously, though, I'm gonna have to ask you to put down the money and just sort of surrender. Otherwise, this is gonna get really bad really quickly.
Hey, why do you wear the gold instead of eating it? It's really yummy.
Gold is a great, carbon conductive for electricity. I don't know if you know that, but I'm a bit of a scientist myself, you could say.
Yeah, you did come across as a nerd.
Hey,
You
now,
also do not look like Carr.
does anyone know what that guy's talking about?
No.
He say his suit was Carr.
No, it's carbon. It's conductive for electricity. You know what electricity is, right? Do they have electricity over there? Over in Villains? Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
buddy, you got wings. Can you fly us back up to Sweet Thing after we're done here?
No,
Oh,
you...
yes, sweet lady say she want to see you.
Oh, God. You talking
get
a
this
sweet
cat.
thing?
We bring this cash to her for you.
Oh, no. He just kind of, rubs the side of his face, the side of his temple, of his exposed, head. No, you know what? Sweet thing, she's alright and all, but I'm kind of already taken. Already in a relationship. I'm being literal because I don't think you guys get sort of similes or metaphors.
Yeah, I don't think she cares, man.
Yeah, I know she doesn't. But you're working for her? Come on, guys.
Hey, you be nice
Really?
to Sweet Lady. She gave us goon cash for candy.
Goon cash, huh? Is that what you're calling it these days?
Goki's kind of fizzing up a little bit at your disdain for Sweet Thing.
Listen, I don't hate Sweet Thing. If I can be real for you, she's pretty, but, she's a little, and he does, the cuckoo with his, the sort of, the finger swirling around next to his head. I mean, she's nice and all, but, just not meant to be. But seriously, though, if you don't put down the cash, I'm gonna have to take it back from you and put it back and hand you over to the police. Which would be really embarrassing, because, what, you? And he kind of nods towards Hammer. You gotta be what, in your 40s? You'll be beaten by someone half your age.
I'm gonna say
Hammer does not like the way B-Man talks to Hammer.
I mean, I don't like the way a lot of things you guys do, but that's how the world works. You're a super villain. I'm a superhero. I got the call. I'm gonna take you guys down, and you're gonna be, in the icebox, the big house. That's how it
Hami,
works.
can you smash this guy? He getting kind of annoying now.
Hammer agree.
All right, we will begin combat.
Hell yeah.
What's
I'm
our
not the-
initiative order?
They are in order
Hammer,
of what
me,
they
you.
are. Yeah, they
Oh,
are
they're in
order.
order. Nice, nice.
Let me load this up.
Excellent.
Is there any way to import playlist? There we
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
go. And you know what? I'm just gonna say realistically, because you guys are all slowish. No, you guys aren't slow as shit. Oh, okay, Hammer, you got the first round. You are fighting Sting, your friendly neighborhood bugman.
So is he up on is he ground level to us, or is he up on a wall? Or
He's perched on a wall. He's not really scared of you guys. He's probably fought worse than you guys. But this is your chance to prove that you can rise above yourself.
Perched on a wall, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna hit the wall that he's on to see if it brings him down.
Give me a brawn melee.
Alright, brawn melee.
I hope you guys don't mind the hero intro. It's all gonna be kind of like that. Not the same level of quippiness, but the hero getting a little time to talk.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use my dodge on bear stance.
God damn, the Yakuza
No,
8
wait,
soundtrack.
that was
fucks.
perfect.
Alright. Let me just
Oh my god, that's
Let me
amazing.
just see something here. Okay. Okay, Dingle. You hit the wall with brute strength. And, you know, Sting was not expecting this level of, like, ingenuity. So he's not perched super tightly on the wall. You bring him down to ground floor, and he kind of scuffs his, like, he kind of lands a bit harder than he was expecting. So you have done a little bit of damage to him, but now he's like in full like combat mode. He's ready to square up.
Haha! Beamman has wings but cannot fly.
You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Hammer see many things.
And let me just see. Let me see who's initiative. Zell, I want you.
Wait, are we doing the
Hmm?
Is there like an attacking and a non-attacking action? Are we still doing that system?
Oh yes, I apologize. Sorry about that.
Oh shit, I thought it
I'm
was just
sorry.
for JoJo's.
Oh wait, is it? I don't. Was I
mean,
not
no,
in
I
our
mean,
previous
No,
campaign?
I'm completely
It's up to
down
you.
for that to be.
I'm fine with it. But yeah, it can't be anything that's like you can't be attacking like
Yeah.
you can't do it with
I
the
mean,
intention to deal damage.
No, that I understand that completely. Well, I guess my action is going to be clarifying that that's a thing because I don't actually have a non-combat action in mind right now.
Alrighty. Now I will say he is kind of he's not a speedster character, but he's a little fast, so Sting will be going next.
Sounds good.
I would
Okay.
say I don't set a lot of I don't write up a lot of stats for my characters, but I would make initiative one of the things you like
Yeah.
write up for a character.
He's
It just makes
he's,
it a little cleaner for you.
he is pretty fast as a character, so he is going to get himself back up in the air with his wings, and he is going to he is going to shoot a crystal of vile honey at you, Gucky, in order to maybe stop you momentarily. And yep. Okay. So Gucky, you're not really anticipating this.
I'm still eating money.
Yeah, the vial of honey like actually goes inside of you and solidifies inside of you, pushing out some of the money back onto the ground, by the way. You are going to have to for your next turn, you can use your non-action to try and break free from the honey. But until you do, you can't use your non-attack action for anything else when it's your turn.
Oh, what did you do to Gucky? It's really yummy,
Beast-
but what did you do?
I mean, it's not actually honey, but I call it crystal honey.
Oh, he still finds it yummy.
I mean, it's kind of... I mean, I'm not surprised. I have no idea. You're like a scientific anomaly.
He
But
found
yeah.
the gold bars yummy.
But yeah, Sting is like slightly hovering in the air, so his dodge is a little... He's got some decent dodge, but I'm not going to say you can't hit him. But, it is your turn, Mandrake.
All right. I'll say he drops what he was carrying in his several arms at this point.
What do you call yourself, Octopus Man?
I
You're not a doctor by chance, are you?
am Mandrake.
Sting just kind of shrugs and goes, "It's not bad. You need to work on your costume, though."
Yeah, times are tough, you know.
Yeah, I know. Still can't let you leave here with the money, though. Sorry.
I love how Sting isn't really taking it serious and like critiquing us.
Again,
he's giving us like pointers.
I mean, again, I'm not the best because I've never actually written the character, but he is kind of Spider-Man coded.
Yeah,
I hope it's coming across
No,
well enough.
he's
absolutely.
very
yeah.
good.
And yeah, I think he's just gonna sort of walk up and start swinging with all his arms at him.
All your arms. That will be... I should open... Why did I close the fucking... Sorry.
Why
Give
did I
me-
close the fucking...
Give me a brawn melee, because I don't think you're really doing anything fancy.
Correct. Oh, I wanted to clarify. When
Yeah.
I'm using bear stance, can I add them afterwards, like drive, or is it pre only?
You know what? Do whatever you want with bear stance.
Okay.
Just tell me how it works, because I don't fully understand it myself.
I can use dodge as drive, essentially.
Okay. Yeah, no. Hey, use it. I will give you free reign to use it, however, as drive, similar to how drive works.
Alright,
Yeah,
well, I'll
I
use my
think
free
I think
drive.
R2. I think our characters, Zell, are the first ones to actually take bear stance. So this is kind of like we can kind of set these rules as we go.
Okay. Ooh.
I
okay.
guess I'll end it there with 2 dodge being used.
So
with it.
you go to swing, but you're not really used to fighting someone who's faster than you, especially not on someone who's flying. Again, you've always been kind of the big fights were always left to your boss, right?
Yeah.
So you start swinging at Sting, but he's kind of like dodge, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He's just sort of like moving through all your arms, and you end your turn with all your arms kind of twisted in a knot around each other.
I'm picturing he had like arms like coming out, and like one arm would like grab the end of the other one to just sort of like extend them out.
Yeah. But you were not used to someone who's got like this much. Again, he's not a speedster, but he's agile.
Yeah.
He's not a heavy set superhero. So I will say, you just sort of like, and you think you got a hit in, you're like, oh yeah, how do you like that? You're thinking in your head, man, I look like my favorite anime character, but all your arms are just tied together in a knot. And you're like,
This could have turned out better.
if I could give you some pointers, maybe try and train yourself to be ambidextrous. That's what Sting says to you. He really is kind of not taking the fight seriously at all.
Yeah, well, you could take your pointer and shove it right up your ass.
Oh, you mean this? And a large blade extends out of Sting's gauntlet. It's his bee stinger. I'm just messing with you.
No!
That
is your hand. That is your hand.
And then the blade retracts and goes, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not that kind of hero. And now it is Zedge's turn. Oh, you have a non-combat action. My bad.
I guess.
If you don't
Am I-
have one, you don't have to.
Am I like? I guess I'll like release my arms to.
Yeah. I will say some of them fall off. You just had to like let go of some of them just to get the knot to like untie itself.
Yeah.
But he is very clearly observing that you guys are definitely not used to this. You are not used to not having someone in charge telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Gucky, it is your turn. Do you want to use your bonus action to break free?
Yeah, I'm not gonna break free. I'm gonna attempt to digest whatever he's put in my body.
Ooh, okay. That will be a... Give me a intelligence biology.
Oh, I am healthy.
Okay. Holy fuck. Okay, so you break free, and because you broke free, I'm going to say you surprise Sting, because it's not every day that something breaks through. His crystal honey will dissolve after a short period of time, but you somehow sped up that process. You are exactly what he said. You are a scientific anomaly. So, because you rolled good here, I'm going to give you 4 extra cards for your attack roll.
Oh, let's go.
You broke out
Okay.
so quickly that you've got like a burst of like, yeah, take that, you goody two shoes motherfucker.
Okay, with my combat action, Cookie's gonna go, that was yummy! Give me more! And I pull my head off, and it becomes like extremely spherical, and I roll it along the ground towards him like a bowling ball.
Alrighty, give me a. I gotta stop closing the sheets. Give me a wit athletics. I know you don't have much in athletics, but I couldn't really think of anything else.
That's good. I have +4 anyway.
That is very true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I just gave that to you.
Let's go!
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit! Double Joker, no successes.
Insane.
Cookie
So,
strike!
So, if I can explain what happens, you have like this big burst of energy. You're like, yeah, Gucky strike, and you're like, you swing it, and you just totally hit the gutter. You hit the hypothetical gutter. Ding just sort of looks over. You are like in the other room. You're like in the room where the staircase is that leads back up. You hear a bunch of stuff being
backwards.
Holy shit.
yeah. And
Oh, I did the thing in Wii Sports where you can throw the bowling ball behind you.
Yeah.
and
Whoa.
and Sting just sort of looks at, like, he's just very like not impressed, like in awe, in the sense that like he's very not impressed. You don't see his eyes, but through his goggles you can kind of hear like the you guys are like really new to this, aren't you?
The rest of my body's just stood there.
Yeah, you have to use your next non-combat to retrieve your head. But yeah, Sting just looks at it and goes, you guys are really not used to this, are you? He's asking, is anyone going to answer? I mean, I don't think Ducky can answer, but
I'll answer on my turn because I think I'm next.
yeah, it's your turn.
If there's nothing else.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
So I'm gonna use my my non-combat action. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm sort of trying to like provoke him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like yelling up to him like, "Why is B-Man so scared? You fight all the way up there."
He was actually on the floor. He was like on the ground.
Oh, I thought he flew up.
He did, but he landed when he was fighting Mandrake, and then Gucky tried to bowl into him.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of like not taking you guys seriously enough that he thinks he needs to be flying all the time either.
I'm still trying to piss him off a little bit.
You could say he's standing far away. That still works.
Why does B-Man not come over and fight Hammer like man?
Okay, give me a presence villainy. You are doing something super villainous. You are monologuing a little bit. You caught me monologuing, you sly dog.
I'm still healthy.
Okay. For one success, I will give you a +1 card on your combat roll if you want to do something else now. Again, I hope that's okay just transferring the success. I'm not sure how to always do, like... It's a bit hard to feel like what would a success do in the situation. I'll say that Sting does get a little riled up. Hear like a little like zzz, like behind his flight pack. And he gets close to you. And now you have your chance to do your combat action +1 extra card.
I
What
know.
do you do?
Armor
Are you
smash.
just? Yeah, I was about to say. Do I
Yeah,
even have to
I'm just bringing the cards out right now. I mean, there's really only one thing to do in this scenario.
'Cause look at you
Plus
all
I'm healthy.
talking. I will say while there's as response to your villainy, Sting goes, "Look at who's talking. You're not even wearing a shirt, man. You ever heard of no shoes, no shirt, no service?" And as he's saying that, he gets a little caught up, and he does not notice that you have just like fully like, you know what I mean? Like Sting
Oh,
is like
yeah.
Spider-Man in a sense where he kind of got like he's kind of like he's yapping too much. He's not noticing.
I kind of like choke up a little bit. Like my hands are kind of like more towards like the top middle of Oshra, and this thing, and the head of the hammer is just going right into his chest.
And that it does. Thankfully, you're not like making his ribs collapse in on himself because he is wearing some kind of like thin armor. But there's almost like a moment where it's almost cartoony where you almost feels like you see his eyes go through his goggles, Looney Tunes style, and you send him flying into one of the walls of the vault.
See, that is how you fly like bug.
That's it, big man. You're going down. Sting kind of gets himself up. He's gonna fly even faster. Like you are a little surprised at how fast he's flying, right? Hold on. Cleaning up the cards in here is annoying. And both of his gauntlets are kind of like lit with like electricity, right? Like he's got those gauntlets that I mentioned. And he grabs a hold of both of your shoulders, and like you just feel volts upon volt. He knows you can take it, big man. And you take 3 points of damage, dodgeable.
No dodge.
But yeah, like I want to say that I know Hammer's a tough guy, but even he has to have felt that.
Oh. Now I know why they call you B-Man. You sting!
You know what? That's close enough. And for his non-combat action, he's going to, So I feel like it's only fair if they have a non-combat action, too.
Honestly, I was actually thinking that it kind of makes sense to do it kind of the way... Because I thought, like... Because like in Baldur's Gate, like, if you do, like, if you're fighting, like, a boss, they'll get, like, 2 actions a turn. And that's kind of how, like, they smooth out the action economy. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for his non-attack action, he is going to shoot Crystal Honey at... He's actually going to shoot Crystal Honey at no, he's going to play it smart. At Gucky's feet, so that Gucky's body cannot retrieve his head.
Playing it smart by shooting his Crystal Honey at the thing that he knows can eat it.
Well, it didn't go inside of him this time. It's actually like around like his feet. But Gucky can't move his body. I don't know how autonomous Gucky is without his head. Sejin did not tell me, but we can figure that out.
We're about to find out.
Your turn, Mandrake. You just saw this dude just... I don't know if a normal guy like you wants to feel that many volts pulsing through you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's definitely gonna shift his focus, and I'm gonna say for his non-combat, he's gonna toss Gucky's head back at him.
Okay, so you do have to go all the way back and grab it.
Yeah.
Or does he?
He does. Oh, wait, yeah. Do you want to make like a monkey barrel like hand chain to grab it from the other room, like a long, like one of those like claw handles?
Hell yeah.
Give me a...
I just have like arms growing out of like the forearm of the arms that I'm growing.
Give me agility biology, because you're trying to do this pretty quickly before Sting has time to stop you.
Yeah. success.
Okay. I will say you grab it with one success. But Guck, I'll say it's at the doorway. Say this is like the doorway. It's now within view.
Well, maybe I'll, if I grabbed it, maybe I'll use my other action to throw it then.
Okay, sure. Throw it. That'll be a brawn athletics.
You have my full consent to throw me as a combat action.
Okay.
You know what?
Oh,
In that
yeah.
case, yeah, I'll throw it right at
You throw it right at Sting?
Sting.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Sting was not expecting this. So Gucky, your head gets thrown. Hits him kind of in the chest area. Oh no, it's funnier the idea of Looney Tunes, it covers his head.
I was just doing that just because it's funnier.
Sting immediately, grabs Gucky's head and rips it off his own head. Kind of throws it to the side. But but now, because of the successes, it is pretty close to... Gucky is close to being complete again. And you did do a little bit of... that impact was on a sore spot of where Sting hit the wall from Hammer's attack. So you've done something. Your combat action did actually lead to some damage.
Sammy, you're way better bowler than Gucky.
Wouldn't call that bowling if you're throwing the ball.
How do you bowl? How does B-Man bowl without throwing ball?
You roll it. You meathead. Sting is now actually genuinely a little annoyed now. But Gucky, you are next to your body, which is stuck in place. You could pick up your head and put it back on, but your feet will still be stuck in place.
I'm gonna bend my body down like the you know how they do in Tom and Jerry, where it's
yeah,
the character becomes a punching bag. They have that kind of physics.
Yeah.
I guess with my non-combat action, I'm going to bend down like that and slot my head back on.
And you have to use your non-combat action to break free, or if you want to break it off violently, you can, but then you're only stuck with your... You have to use one of your two actions to break free, even if it's dissolving the
Only his feet are stuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd just stay stuck.
Fair enough. What is Gucky doing in his turn?
Oh, did I not have to flip for that? Damn.
No. Why would you?
Alright.
Your head was right there. I imagine you just grabbed it.
Well,
It's because Zell rolled super good. It's right next to your body.
nice. Well, with my combat action, as I'm getting back up, but my body's gonna spring back and try and swing back into him like the punching bag physics.
Jeez. Go ahead. That will be a brawn melee.
Healthy.
Okay, you
3
guys are rolling pretty
successes.
good. Let's see. Okay. You hear the cartoony wind up, and you just headbutt Sting, and he kind of just falls on his ass for a little bit. He's like, "Ow! What is this? A friggin' cartoon?" And he gets himself back up. He's looking a little winded. I'm not gonna lie, Sting is looking a little winded from the fight. But can you push through and make it big and defeat your first superhero on your own? Hammer, it's your turn. Why is the next song not playing? Oh, it is. It's just I was in a different
It's playing
tab.
for me.
I want to rewind this because I love this song.
Valid.
I do too, even though I heard it a million times.
I
Never get
know,
old.
but I love it. I had to add it. I do like Ascension Point more though, but you know, you're not in that area long enough to hear it. Hammer, what are you doing? You're a bit far away from Sting. What's your combat or non-combat action?
All right.
Is it a crazy idea like swinging your hammer or something?
Okay. I have kind of like a two-phase idea, like a two-action idea.
I will allow this, but it will take up both your actions.
I want to sort of like swing my hammer into like the ground to kind of like sort of like shake the ground and knock him off balance, and then I just want to like tackle him.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see. For you first, you are going to brawn athletics the ground.
Okay. Here's my 4 brawn.
1 success, so.
And then 2 athletics. I'm not healthy anymore.
Okay. You definitely have shaken the ground enough for everyone. Like the dust, like you know how like when dust is, you know how when like a lower floor is kicked up, you see like some dust fall from the ceiling.
Oh
Yeah.
You see that, all of you, and Sting is definitely off balance. His, you know, he hit his coccyx bone when fucking Gucky fucking headbutted him.
His cocks.
No, you know, like you know the base of your spine.
Yeah.
He's not really paying attention. He's not in the air. And you have the perfect opportunity as he's trying to catch himself on like a table. And for the tackling, I'm going to ask you for an agility melee.
Okay. Agility. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 for melee.
Okay. I know you said you're gonna tackle him, but can I request a slight alteration to the flavor text?
Depends what it is.
Shoulder tackling him into the wall, and then something is going to happen, ending combat.
Fair enough.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
It honestly is a great, not because we're just near the end, but honestly, I hope this is okay, I have to ask. Okay, I'm going to do the flavor text, and then I'm going to ask for you guys' opinion on combat, because this is like the only combat we got to do, and this is my first time doing combat. So as Sting is trying to balance himself, this fucking big-ass Eastern European fridge of a guy, like a fucking train, tackles into Sting, sending him into the wall again, but this time Sting is hit at an angle where the extra honey cartridges in his utility belt break open, and he is stuck to the wall by his own honey, ending combat.
Oh, hell yeah. I was going to tie him together with arms, but that works even better.
And, hold on. City ambience. I think this is outside, but whatever. But, actually, I'll just pause it until you guys are outside again. Pause. How do you pause this?
You have to click the pause button. You can't click the... Yeah.
Sorry. But, yeah, Sting, just pretend this is... He is stuck against the wall, hands and feet and body. His head is open. In comic book logic, his honey is never going to cover someone's head. It always kind of stops around the neck area, just so people don't fucking suffocate. So he can still talk to you, but you have officially ended combat, and you have won against all odds against your first superhero.
And we're just gonna like he's kind of gonna like walk up and he just be like,
There we go. That works. You think you're so clever.
What is matter, bee man? I thought bees liked honey.
Oh, so now you're clever with now you got metaphors. You know what? When I get out of here, you guys gonna say dead, but you guys are toast. Don't take the money. I just gotta wait 2 hours for this to dissolve.
A bit
And
of a
I will be
sticky
back.
situation you're in, huh?
Oh, for the love of... You all think you're comedians, huh? Maybe you should do that instead of being a supervillain. Does Gucky have anything to say? Or is he just eating the money again?
Goki just couldn't allow it. And then just keep eating money.
Oh, I hate all of you. I'll be out of here.
That is good idea, Oshra.
Also, do not tell Sweet Thing that I am here. Do not. Don't you dare.
Oshra says we take you to Sweet Lady. She give us more money.
No. Do not take me to her.
It's a good idea.
By the way, you can't take him to her, but in character. No, you are not. No. No.
Yeah.
I wanna break down the part of the wall like surrounding where he's stuck,
You know,
and then just sort of like hoist him over my shoulder.
you know what?
Good
Because
idea, Harry. He is made of
what?
gold. She loved
You know,
this.
okay. I'm going to be real. You do not have to roll for this because this is a way funnier outcome than I initially imagined. I originally had the idea that you were like going to just like leave him in the vault and maybe close the door. But the idea of bringing him to Sweet Thing is genuinely the funniest, like, it's the funniest punchline to the back and forth between these two characters this whole session. So yes, I will say the wall's been hit enough that you can just grab it. You can just
I've got to just like, I sort of just like, whatever this wall is, I'm just like, I just sort of like hit it with like, I just sort of hit it with Oshra. I'm just like softening it up until I can like, sort of like pull a big chunk of the wall that the chunk of the wall that he's stuck to out. And
listen, you guys don't gotta do this. I'm taken. I can't be. No, you realize what my girlfriend's gonna say if she catches me with Sweet Thing? It'll be worse than anything Sweet Thing will do.
Sounds like you gotta make Sweet Thing your girlfriend instead, then.
Is the goo still kind of sticky, even though it's hardened to him? Because
No,
I want to I want to
it's
stick my bag of money like to him.
I was also going to stick.
okay. His crystal honey isn't usually, but I will say for this batch because it was such a large amount that yes.
I sort of like I like tie the top of the bag and like kind of like stick it to like where he's stuck.
You don't understand. I'll have no wrath like a woman scorned, man. You don't gotta do this. You don't have to do this. I mean, I know you guys are villains, but you don't have to do this.
We don't have to do it, but we do have to pay rent.
I know, but just leave me. Take the money. I'll just say you knocked me out.
Oshra say we take you to Sweet Lady. Hammer, listen to Oshra.
Oh, no.
You know, for once, I think I'm gonna listen to Oshra as well.
You guys are evil beyond evil.
Goki no hear Oshra, but I think that he's pretty smart.
You guys are the worst. And I will say with that, I will say he keeps talking the entire time. He's like getting on all of your guys' nerves. But you have to contact Sweet Thing and tell her where you plan to meet. Where do you want to meet? At the warehouse? Probably not, because there's going to be a hero and he'll know where you guys live now, but you have to text Sweet Thing using the Goon for Hire app and find a meeting
Text
place.
Sweet Thing using the Goons for Hire app.
Really? That's what they call it? That's awful. Who came up with
I
that
don't
stupid
say that
name?
out loud.
Oh. Man, that'd be funny. Sweet Thing texts you back. Did you okay. Did you just say you have the stuff that she asked for, or did you specify that you actually have Sting?
I'm gonna say got the cash plus a little surprise for you.
Okay, that is infinitely funnier. Where do you want to meet? Do you want to say like I don't know New York, but again, if Sting wasn't here, I would suggest the warehouse. But since you don't want him to know where your hideout is, where do you want to meet? Like a park, or it's like the middle of the night, so I'm not sure.
Maybe I'll ask the group what.
Yeah, sure. Where should we meet Sweet Thing?
Yeah, where should we take this guy? I was gonna say another roof, but it might be hard to get him up here.
Gookie wants to go in the swings.
That's one vote for Park. Hammer?
Hammer does not care. We can go to swings.
Hey, if you're taking like opinions, I'll say the police station, and you guys hand yourselves in.
He's gonna like.
B-Man
Drop.
B-Man is very stupid. We cannot take you to police. Police will not. We take you to Sweet Lady. Hammer say this many times, and you still not understand.
No, you don't understand.
Sam's just gonna drop like an arm off and use it to cover his mouth.
All you hear is like
As,
muffled,
as
muffled, angry
as we go to
buzzing.
meet up to a nearby park.
All you hear through the walk is like muffled, angry buzzing coming from like his suit.
Hammy, can you push Gookie? Can you push Gookie?
Hammer will push.
I will say, a few minutes pass. There's this lovely moment where you guys are just enjoying life, and also Sting has finally just sort of accepted his defeat and shut the fuck up, which is the biggest relief of the night. And out of the shadows, you hear the sound of like bouncing, and you see across the water in the park. Sweet Thing is using large like bubblegum bubbles to bounce across like the small lake in the park, like the small body of water.
I thought that was Gookie for a second.
And she meets up with you guys and goes, "So, how'd it go? First job? Not having to worry about that jailbird guy, that old man? It's kind of gross. I met him like once at a convention. At a villain conference."
Well, we got the cash, and here's your surprise.
Hammer just kind of like, he kind of just like tosses him on the ground.
You really shouldn't have.
Are you sure? Hammer thought you would like.
Oh, it's a form of expression, sweetie.
On top of Sting,
Cute.
Gookie's gonna like quote unquote vomit up all the like bills in his body.
All you hear is like a muffled like, ew. Like, look at
Hey
that.
lady,
Got
you
me.
like this?
You boys are just the nicest henchmen I've ever had the pleasure of having work for me.
Yay!
You brought me what I asked for, and you brought me my honeybee. And Sting's like, no. Well, now, if that's everything, and she's going to count out. Okay, I don't know how much you guys grabbed.
Several armfuls, at least.
Several armfuls. So let's say you
At
grabbed.
least.
So let's say you grabbed $50,000, and she will take $25,000 from that. So you guys have $25,000,
Yo.
Yo.
and you have gotten
We're really
some
doing it now.
experience for the. Now you hear the doo-doo-doo-doo on the phone, and you are now level 2 of Goon and Goon for Hire. You have worked up from Goon to Mobster.
Oh shit.
But yeah, you start at level 1, now you're at level 2. Which means whatever you do next is going to be more difficult, but it also means you'll get paid more. And Sweet Thing, after kind of splitting the money, shoos you away and is trying to hug Sting, but then she gets stuck to the crystal honey too. And you just sort of leave them. And who knows, you might see them again. Superheroes are nothing if not, tenacious. But that was a successful first mission. And to kind of expedite, you guys go back to You guys go back to the warehouse, and you drop off the rent for the warehouse, which is $5,000. So now you have $20,000 to spend with as what you wish. And now you have officially started your lives as up-and-coming superheroes.
I'd like to buy a Spamborghini.
You have on your first night as free villains, no longer shackled by a boss. Well, I mean, technically, Sweet Thing was your boss, but she was very hands-off and
Not
wasn't
shackled.
like
Yeah.
she wasn't bossing you around. That is a genuine upgrade from your previous boss. So on the pool table, you have a big stack of cash to spend with as what you wish, and we will find out how our goons climb the supervillain ladder on the next issue of RPG.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And everyone's getting 2 goon points.
Oh,
We're
good.
here.
And again, this is not really a one shot, but I'm not sure. We might be at this one for a little bit, so it is worth giving out experience points.
Oh yeah, I was definitely under the assumption that this was just like the current campaign.
Yes. And okay, we will do all of the things that we normally do, but then I want even if it's just nice things to say, I just want your guys' feedback on my first time DMing after we do everything. So heroes, Hammer, you were swinging your hammer a lot. You probably did the most rolling, the most flipping out of everyone here. I mean, I know who your heroes are.
The nice thing about having a character who's kind of designed around doing one thing is that you get to flip a lot of cards because you kind of just because I kind of just have one thing I built my character around.
But
it's gonna flip a lot for that.
But goddamn, are you good at it though? I know who your heroes are, but we still go over what did they do this session that impressed you the most.
All right.
I, for once, do not have to recall things.
Can you believe it?
True.
So, I'll start with Zegend. I liked that like I like the idea of Gucky just like eating things. Like I like that you ate the money and then like you eat like the like you ate the sort of like what was binding you to get out of it. I think that was really cool. And Zell, I do like how your character I really liked how your character was kind of forced to be like the voice of the group. Like I like this dynamic where you're just kind of like you're kind of just like in it for the money, but now you're kind of like become the boss because your other two party members are just like 0 IQ.
Yeah.
He's not so clever either, but he's at least like
he can
almost
speak,
normal.
He can speak normally to other people.
Well, maybe
he can generate more brains to make up for his mentally impaired crew.
Oh, true?
That is true.
I will say, though, maybe over the course of this campaign, Gucky and Hammer get slightly more articulate. Who knows?
We'll see.
It would be
I wouldn't count on it.
It would be easier on
see
me.
About that.
Okay. And Gucky, what did your fellow supervillains do this session that impressed you?
First of all, both of you are great for having names that I can just you're Hammy and Sammy to me now. It's great. It fits so well.
Not even planned.
True.
I really liked Mandrake's usage of the power and like breaking the fall with a ball of legs. I think it's a very versatile ability that's going to be have some very funny applications. And Hammer, he's Hammer. What else can you say?
Hammer.
I really liked how the Hammer is kind of the brains of the operation in a way. and he kind of informs the actual character what to do.
Yes, very
And
much.
usually it's just smash, and it's great.
I mean, Hammer is great at like just kind of taking charge, so we're not wasting too much time.
You know, I love it.
And Zell, what did your compatriots do that impressed you this session? That's the way I'm gonna word it because we already know.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my god, hold on. That gif, that is literally what is happening to you, fellas.
That Mafia Boss has to be the top level.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, like I love having just the big melee hitter guy
Big
is
swings
very
all day,
fun.
every day.
Very fun to play, very fun to have in the party, and I think your like roleplay dynamic with him is very funny. And I have to give one to Gucky, especially for the part that sticks out the most is your assisting in calling the taxi.
Yeah,
And just your like mimicry ability in general is very fun.
I mentioned this to Sin, but like my idea was when Guki like impersonates someone else, he also reforms his brain, so he's able to like talk normally when he's when he's impersonating
That's
someone
awesome.
else.
Oh, that's sick.
Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, who will be Auntie? Oh, and you got
Someone got a double.
It has to be Zedgen.
I
He got a
doubled.
double Joker.
Okay, Legend, you are Anti-Joker. I was gonna say anti-hero would be like a great name, but that's technically a different thing. Let's put it anyway. That's too good of a pun. And you, Zell, did the only dramatic failure, so you get an extra point, right? You get an extra goon point. Is that how that works?
Extra feats if you're doing the feats and XP type thing.
Oh,
I don't know if it really matters for this.
you know what? You're just getting an extra point.
Okay.
I don't do math. And now that we've gotten that, I know it's a little bit past the end, but I have to ask because I was really nervous. What did you guys think of how I did?
It was
What did you
amazing.
guys-
I think
Hell
it went
yeah.
great.
I think
Did
you're
you
really good
guys-
at describing the scene and like what characters are doing and what actions result in.
Yeah.
I don't want my ego stroked too much, but did you like the characters that I made?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
they're
characters
great.
were great.
I like
I know
the
you
I
had
like
to
the plant guy. His power's really cool too.
Wallflower? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He had an amazing name. Like I thought of that name, and then I kind of spun it off from there.
Yeah.
My one
just works
suggestion
so well.
is don't be scared to punish us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was exactly what I was gonna say. I feel like especially when you're determining what like skills and attributes are to use for a flip. I felt like you were looking at our sheets and determining like what would be a good flip for us to do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would just go full like
Say the most
logically
logical
and
thing that comes
yeah,
to
like
mind.
like
I will say I
logically and
do look at your guys' sheet, but more so as like, oh, would any of these also work in terms of what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of? But
Yeah.
yeah, most of the
Yeah.
time it's just
I feel like
it's,
just sort of like apply the logic to the flip, and if we're doing an action that we're not good at, that's tough. That's
on
our
us.
problem.
Oh. And I know you didn't spend
And
a
hey,
whole lot of. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, and hey, if we feel like it should be something else, we can always argue that.
Yeah.
That's okay. And I know you didn't spend too much time with her. What did you think of Sweet Thing as a villain? She was like
She was a pretty sweet thing.
Definitely a fun dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, and
It was fun.
did you like Sting
I-
too? I'm
Yeah.
worried about him the most because like he's
I
my
liked
he's
all
my
the, I
son.
thought all the characters were great.
He's like my son to me. I've had him for like over. I think as a character, he's old enough to drink. Like in terms of how long he's been around in
Oh,
my
wow.
head.
Oh shit.
So he's very important to me. He's gone through some. He's gone through some like different designs. At one point, he was Scorpion themed. That was like the original design for him.
I do appreciate the superheroes that are more like they've made the most of tools rather than like they fell in a radioactive vat and now they're superpowers.
I mean, you are gonna fight some legitimate like meta humans at some point.
Oh yeah, of course.
But Sting was, I think, an easy. Well, the best thing about Sting, he's very versatile. I think he can work as your first like opponent, but I also think in that Spider-Man sense, he definitely has room to come back.
I think it was really good because it was you handled it like he was just like he thought it was an off night for him basically, and he was just like he came in giving us tips and shit, and then we just clowned him.
Yeah. I think it was a great dynamic of him just kind of being like, these guys really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, he was meant to give off the impression that he's probably been doing the hero thing for at least a little while.
Yeah.
You have no idea what the fuck he's fought. Like, if he's fought like some eldritch horror as part of some crazy comic book storyline.
Definitely didn't diminish his like power in any way.
No. And I hope and I thought him and Sweet Thing was really funny. I was not expecting that solution of actually bringing him to Sweet Thing. I wasn't setting that up because Sweet Thing is already, as a character in my story, just has a thing for him. I wasn't alluding to you having to follow up on that, but the fact that you did was funny to me, I think.
Oh, when he got stuck to the wall, that was my like very first thought.
I hope I didn't lay on Sweet Thing's crush aspect too thick.
No, you're good.
No, I thought it was fun. It was
it's a big part of a character.
She's partly inspired by Harley, like Harley Quinn, but instead of being into someone like the Joker, she's into essentially Spider-Man. That's kind of to boil it down at the most basic level.
Yeah.
But I thought it worked. I thought the characterization of all like the NPCs was really good.
I know the driver was kind of like, it was kind of hard to make up like all the other characters I had, like, I know them, I've made them. The driver in like doing like improv for like some random cab driver was a bit difficult, but it worked out.
Don't worry, I was trying to avoid having to improv with the cab driver because I didn't want to make more flips.
Yeah. Driver was a car man talk too much or whatever. Yeah,
we did kind of stonewall him.
Yeah. Oh, and I know it's kind of I know it might be a hacky reference, but I don't know if you guys didn't pick up on it.
Oh yeah, the warehouse guy was Stan Lee, right?
Yes, he's Stan Lee. I hope that's okay.
No, that was fun. I didn't want to call to it because I could tell you weren't overtly calling to it, but I was like, Old guy with a mustache, huh?
And big aviator glasses.
Yeah, and yeah.
I know it's a little hacky, definitely. But like he kind of works as like.
No, that's cool. I like
he
it.
works as like. I have an idea of like
incorporating. It was less hacky than most actual Stan Lee cameos.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I had this idea of every episode you meet an NPC that's an allusion not to Stan but to different comic book creators.
That would actually be funny as fuck if, like, every episode there was one NPC that was just very overtly Stan Lee.
Yeah, but I wanted to do like an homage to more than just him. I like him, but I feel like other creators deserve that too. Not that this is being seen by anyone, but if Sting shows up in a comic book somewhere, I'm gonna fucking sue the shit out of whoever makes it because someone watches this shit. It's been proven.
We got fucking
Looking at
spies.
you, Todd.
We got spies everywhere, dude.
You mean Todd McFarlane? I had an idea to have him cameo too. Just as like a rambling. I thought you meant Todd McFarlane, like the guy who made Spawn. I had this idea of like, okay, I'm not gonna share it because he might show up, but I had this great idea. What was I gonna say? But yeah, you guys didn't fight any cops. I hope you don't mind. I know things might have been a little slow sometimes. I'm sorry about that. I was kind of losing track of time too. I was originally thinking, you guys are going to fight cops and then fight Sting. But then you guys rolled really well on breaking into the bank. So I was like, let's just skip the cop fight.
Sometimes you just gotta steer.
Yeah.
I do try. I don't want to steer too hard, but my idea was if out of the things to be skipped, cops can be skipped. I don't want the superhero fights to be skipped because I feel like that's the important part.
It's fair.
Oh yeah.
That's like the whole reason you fucking watch.
Don't
you
worry.
read
None of
comics.
us spec into sneaking, I don't think. So.
Yeah, none of you have.
I did.
Um,
Oh, you did.
Zedgen
I-
is quite literally
Okay.
max sneaking.
yeah, I'm not going to reveal too much behind the curtain, but I did have to modify Sting stats on the fly just so you guys wouldn't immediately like.
All right. So.
Oh, I've done
Destroy
that
you.
before.
Well,
Yeah.
we might try to sneak around a fight then, but the two of us will weigh
Yeah.
Gucky down.
Sorry for holding it up, but I was really nervous, but I'm glad you guys like it a lot. And I have an exciting idea for your guys' next adventure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Goon up, fellas.
Oh yeah.
The time to goon is now.
You could say that.
And if that is everything, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're trying to leave, Zell. If that is everything, then, yeah. That's all I gotta say. I wish I was better at ending these things, but I'm really excited. It's really fun, and I don't think I'll be able to pull off having a new drawing every week.
Yeah,
I do
it's
have
not
here-
expected of you.
I have a lot of hero drawings, but like NPCs, like the villain, I might not be able to have. Like Sweet Thing, I had already drawn, but if you guys, the villain you work for next week might not be drawn yet. But I will describe them, and
I
you
love
know,
making like tokens and stuff
yeah,
like mid campaign, but
Yeah.
not for my campaigns that I run. I just don't do that for mine.
but yeah, I've got an idea for the next one where you will fight, surprise, another superhero probably. You will do some crime shit and fight a superhero. I hope that's not too big of a spoiler.
Shit, it's been
Oh.
spoiled.
But thank you. I'm glad that you guys like it so far. I will try to continue to be a good DM.
Hell yeah.
GG.
Hell yeah.
See ya, fellas.